How do we inspire people to be healthy, fit, and strong? How do we inspire people to want to be successful? Obviously, not by having a monotone, boring voice. Now, we love some voices and some voices we don't like. There's accents we like and there's accents that we don't like. We all have personal preferences. But is it possible that there are certain voice traits that are incredibly important? And your voice intonation is one of the ways that we communicate. So you can say a word, but if I say it with passion and enthusiasm, so there's the way that I say it, there's my facial expressions, there's my body language, and of course my voice intonation. So if I have no voice intonation and I just talk at one monotone level, is it possible that I'll be very boring and nobody want to listen to what I've got to say? That's possible. If I have a very exciting message to get across, I of course have to have an exciting voice. And there's also a great word called texture. So I could be really excited if I talk about this all the time, I talk really fast, I talk that's going to be really annoying. So is it possible that we need to swap between fast and slow? We need to swap between loud and soft? Is it possible that if you speak softly that people have to lean forward to listen so they're more likely to hear what you've got to say? Have you ever been in a situation where somebody's been yelling and screaming and you don't want to listen because it's horrible to listen to? So if you want to get your message across effectively, whether you're a parent, a teacher, a coach, a boss, a leader, and whatever you've got to say is really important, is it possible that there's some things to consider? So number one, of course, is eye contact. If I'm not looking you in the eye, then you're not going to believe that I'm talking to you, or you're not going to feel that I care about you because I'm not even looking you in the eye. So we talk about it as a respectful thing to do, that if I want to get my message across to you, then I have to talk to you, not over there. Great thing to consider, eye contact. Is it possible that posture has a lot to do with our message? So if I've got rounded shoulders which of course means my belly's going to be sticking out, I'm not going to look very attractive for a start, but I don't look positive and I don't look confident if I've got rounded shoulders. So is it possible that our body language, the way we hold ourselves, is really important? You can use particularly if you're like me, where you've got a European background, and Italians do it beautifully where they talk with their hands. But if you're going to use your hands to get a point across, is it possible that you need to have a look at some of the ways that you can use your hands? So if I'm talking about something that's in the past, I'm going to be pointing this direction because it's in the background. If I'm talking about something that's in the future, then I want to be facing this direction. It just helps to get my message across. So voice intonation, body language, texture. But ultimately, the biggest way to get any message across is that you believe what you're saying, that you are passionate about it, it's the truth, and you care about the message that you've got to deliver. But I'm going to rephrase that, because you could then say, oh, well, it doesn't matter what you say, because if you believe what you're saying, people will just listen to you. But is it possible that if you've got a great message to get across, that you want to learn how to get it across effectively? Won't that prove that you are really passionate about your message, because you want to learn the great communication skills to get that message across? So I'll use an example. We have lots of students at the Max International Colleges who are technically good at what they do. But I often share, if you're passionate about something, could you please inform your face? If you have an indifferent look on your face, if you don't look excited and passionate about what you're doing, how will people know that you are excited and passionate about what you're doing? If you haven't learned great communication skills, it doesn't matter how good the message is. And I have to do this all the time because I listen to university professors and doctors and medical professionals all the time. And they're very specifically good at what they do, cutting up the human body, studying the human body, but a lot of them are incredibly boring. And it's one of the reasons why social media influencers, or is it possible that it's one of the reasons why we get conned by people who don't have very much knowledge, but they've got a great way of talking. So they're passionate and excited and they sound confident, so people believe them even if they haven't got very much knowledge. The reverse is, I'm boring and monotone even though my message is really good. So wouldn't it be nice to have a combination of both? So if you want to inspire people to be healthy, fit and strong, of course you have to live that example. So communication, if you break it down by whatever expert you listen to, the words that we use are a tiny form of communication, which is a little bit scary in the world we live in right now, because most of our communication is words, whether it's by text or email or some form of social media platform. So words a tiny percentage. Our voice intonation, our body language, and our facial expressions is a big part of the way we communicate those words. However, who we are and what we truly believe, and the experts call it your ethos, your ethics, who are you really? That speaks louder than anything. So that's why you can have people who, and I'm sure you've met them, where they say the right thing and they say it in an exciting, passionate way, but you don't believe them because there's something about them that you just don't trust. Well, that's your ethos. At Max, we call it your sparkly bits. If you don't sparkle when you're sharing a message, is it possible that your message doesn't get across? So if you want to inspire people in any way, shape or form, could it be a really good idea to, yes, believe your message, and yes, study and research and analyse everything you've got to say. But then wouldn't it be a great idea to study, research and analyse how to get that message across with passion, with enthusiasm, with great voice intonation, with great facial expressions, with great body language, and ultimately a voice that goes, again, texture, loud and soft, fast and slow, passion, enthusiasm, excitement for the message that you've got to deliver, so that whatever it is that you want to share with the world actually gets through to the world. Live your life to the max and with passion. Super duper doo. How are you? Living my life to the max. Woo!